I am Tom Hughes of the Rotary Club of Golden, and with me is Paul Hazeman, also of Golden Rotary. We are here with Tyson Nath, the Executive Director of BGOLDN, which Rotary is recognizing for its significant contributions to the Golden community. Each quarter during 2021, Rotary's Ethics in Business Awards program will recognize organizations or persons which have made valuable contributions improving the quality of life in Golden. BGOLDN is our second quarter honoree, and we are happy to have Tyson with us today.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, hello, Tyson. If memory serves, you came to Golden about 2 years ago and became the director of the Golden Backpack Program, serving children with food insecurity. You quickly saw the need to broaden the program and to collaborate with other caring Golden entities to better serve families and other adults with similar food insecurity. You rebranded the backpack program as BGOLDN, and with this great enthusiasm and hard work, BGOLDN has made a big difference in Golden, particularly during the recent pandemic. Rotary is proud to recognize you and BGOLDN for its contribution.
Tyson, Paul and I have some questions for you that we believe will give people a better idea of what BGOLDN is all about. The first of these questions is, BGOLDN has quite an interesting history. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, Tom, Paul, thanks for having me, and I appreciate, on behalf of BGOLDN, the honor of receiving this award. So Golden Backpack started back in 2008. It actually started with the Golden Rotary, with a current Rotarian, Peggy Halderman. She noticed that there was a need for children here in Golden, and fortunately or unfortunately, Golden is known as a kind of a well-to-do community, but that's actually not true. So what Peggy did was to show folks not only in Golden but in the area that we have many folks who are in need, who are food insecure, and a lot of them are children. So she took the data and the stats from the Jefferson County School District with the local Golden schools and got to show those stats of free and reduced lunch numbers from these students. The other piece of that puzzle too is the stats that she's shown. That's just the bare minimum with how it works, and with families opting in for free and reduced lunch. Not every family has to do that, and there's actually a big stigma with that. So that's how Peggy started the program, getting just that simple information out. She started with the weekend sack program. So she was helping kids have nutritious meals during the weekend, which then turned into Peggy wanted to do something year round. So they started the summer lunch program, where we actually bought an old beer bus and created it into this really cool operation to where we would go to low income communities here in Golden. We would have arts and crafts and meals during the summertime, 5 days a week. And it was all spearheaded from Peggy by wanting to do this and needing to do this. That eventually turned into wanting to do something a little bit more healthy. And so with those two programs, unfortunately, with processed foods and canned goods and all of that, you can only give so much healthy food that kids would want to eat, right? And so she started a fresh food pantry, actually a fresh food co-op is what she started. And so we were receiving Edge food from Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, and Sprouts. And families, school families, were able to come and shop with the objective of this would be something that they could purchase for every family member for 3 days of meals for them. So that's what we focused on. That's what our mission was. It was helping hungry children and families of these kiddos from 2008 all the way up to March 12th of 2020, which was the day before kind of COVID hit. So that's the brief history of the Golden Backpack Program. And then that March 13th, BGOLDN is where we came into place and really kind of grew and changed our mission and vision.
Well, that's a great background to hear that, Tyson. Everybody has been behind BGOLDN. And with the pandemic, you did even more. Can you please describe the food distribution program that you put together with a dozen or so Golden restaurants during the pandemic? Who was eligible to receive this food, and how many meals were you served? Maybe that's too many questions, but any idea how much you gave to the restaurants to help this along?
Yeah, this is actually, I have a lot of great stories of over the past year and a half of how BGOLDN came about, but what I'm about to share with you is probably my most favorite. It really shows how Golden as a whole community really rallied and came together. And so what happened was March 13th, that Friday, we had, we didn't know what was going on, right? And so I decided, look, we just need to do a food drive. I don't know what we're going to do with it. It's kind of that concept of let's just get as many tools as possible, not knowing what we're building, right? And so at Calvary over at Calvary, those first few days we had a huge food drive of not just for Golden Backpack Program or BGOLDN, but this was for the whole entire community of Golden and just trying to figure out what that looked like. And so Sunday came along and we had all this food. We had some really great donations come in. And I reached out to some community members and said, hey, we're super successful. We know that we need to help folks. And so that Sunday we had Mayor Weinberg come. We had Heather Schneider come, we had Bill Fisher come, we had about 11 different individuals come and just really brainstorm. There was no rhyme or reason why we were meeting, just of, hey, let's kind of figure this out. And so we all met, and Mayor Weinberg, just, a simple kind of suggestion, right, was, hey, is there any way that we can help our community members also while helping the folks who are underserved? And it was literally like this simple. It was Jen Timke from Cafe 13 raising her hand and saying, hey, I'll reach out to as many restaurants as I can. And then Dan Timke raising his hand saying, we will, neighborhood rehab will help with all the volunteering, right? We had Bill Fisher raise his hand and say, hey, at this point, he'll help with kind of health protocols and stuff like that. Heather Schneider saying we'll help with funding. Laura letting me know that the city can kind of help with communication. And this idea or this kind of collaboration literally took less than a minute, which was super awesome. So that, this is a true community program. Right. And this would have been impossible if we didn't have those relationships prior or to have the help with this. And so we got about 10 to 12 different restaurants on board. We all came together with Mayor Weinberg and just said, look, we want to help you all out. And the restaurants came together with a price point. With that price point, we really let them determine of what food that they were going to distribute to the Golden community, because again, we want to make sure that they're making money, right? And so we got connected with Bell Middle School, asked if we could use their campus as a grab and go. And just a few days later, I want to say maybe 4, maybe 5 days later, we started the grab and go program, which lasted from about that March 17th, 18th realm all the way to May of this year of 2021. And we got to give back a little over $325,000 back to our local restaurants. And then we were also able to give a little over 50,000 meals back to our community. Not only did we have the grab and go that our restaurants were helping with, but we also, we had restaurants that were providing meals, and we still do this actually on Tuesdays and Thursdays for our homeless as well. And then early on, we were actually delivering, we were partnering with the Christian Action Guild, and we're actually delivering restaurant meals with dietary restrictions for our seniors, and we're actually delivering those meals. So I'd like to think that was a good, productive program, and along with that, our restaurants obviously help promote BGOLDN, and just a good ecosystem that we had going on with that original program of BGOLDN.
Tyson, that's really a remarkable story, and congratulations to you and all those involved for making that program happen. Looking at the BGOLDN website, it talks about partnering with others to give to the community, and you've spoken about some of those partnerships, but who are all these partners, and who is eligible now to receive food from BGOLDN and those partners?
Well, Tom, if I was to go down the list of all the partners we have, this interview would take about twice as long as it should. But that's a great thing, right? So we originally, our partnership was, when we first started, was just with local schools, right? And we had some businesses that helped out. But that's been our main focus early on. They're the eyes and ears for us with these family members, right? So if I'm a family in need, I'm not calling the executive director of BGOLDN who's in need, right? I'm communicating with the school counselor, right? So some of our partnerships early on, and still continues, is the city of Golden. The city of Golden, all the city councilors, and including Mayor Weinberg, has helped out tremendously. They helped us with seed money. They also helped us with a part-time employee. So it worked out well to where the city early on had to let go some staff, and obviously we're growing immensely. And so we got to take that staff person that the city helped pay for, and they were the ones that actually went and picked up all the meals for the grab and go, and was at the grab and go site. So they've been tremendous. Some of our other partnerships, has been with Calvary Food Shelf. As far, our method and our kind of thought process, right, is that we don't want to be doing the same thing that 5 or 6 other organizations are doing, right? So it's important to kind of have those partnerships, those conversations. I talked a little bit about the Christian Action Guild. They've been a great partner as far as, they help out seniors, right? We're not in that realm, right? We've always helped out kiddos, right? So it's kind of leveraging those assets. But this has turned into partnerships with new restaurants, right? That aren't even a part of our program as far as distributing food. One example is we just partnered with the Golden Mill, and they're strictly doing funding, helping us fund for a new program that we have that's called Teens to the Table, which is a really cool program we're going to start in the fall, which is to end teenage stigma and get them connected with these current restaurants. We've also been partnering with Jefferson County. So, which is a lot of people may not know, but since day one, every Friday morning, the Action Center, Food Bank of the Rockies, Leslie Dahlkemper, other commissioners, other food banks, we all meet every Friday. And again, this is a getting ideas and new things that are happening, or what's working or what's not working. And so, it'd be easy for us just to, stay in this little golden community, right? But really looking outside that box, right? Of what's Jefferson County needing, right? What's the school district needing, right? So those are some of the other cool partnerships that we have as well. And I'm sorry, Tom, what was the second part of your question?
So as of this moment, what people in the Golden area are eligible to receive food assistance from BGOLDN?
Yeah, no, so again, originally our mission and vision was to just help out kiddos right here in Golden, and that's completely changed. So we completely changed that to where we are helping out anybody and everybody in our area, right? It doesn't have to be just Golden specific, but in the whole entire area. So our fresh food pantry, which was once just for families who went to specific schools here in Golden, has completely been opened up to anyone in the community. The other cool thing that we do is we do not have any red tape. We do not, when you came to the Grab and Go site, we did not need to see your driver's license. We did not need to know what community you were from. You came up and you told us how many meals you needed, and we provided that. And so we have that. So we have our fresh food pantry, which is open to everybody. We're still doing the weekend sack program for the kiddos. We also hand out King Super gift cards to the kiddos. Just like I talked about previously, we're specifically trying to target these teenage kids because stigma is such a big deal. And so we are targeting them as well. And we actually have some really cool other programs that we're starting in the fall as well.
It sounds like you've got a cheering section in the background, Tyson, or so.
Yeah.
And I want to add to that cheering section. We're really pleased with that contribution that your leadership. I know there are many others. And in that vein, though, tell us a little about volunteerism in Golden and how that may have benefited BGOLDN.
Sure. Yeah. So volunteerism, at least for us, has been a little tricky. The great thing, as I've expressed, is that there is so many great individuals here in Golden that want to help, not only with their time, but also with their money. And, I've been, I've thought about, man, would we be as successful in a different community, right? With what we're doing, in the other places that I've lived, I've just never seen such a rally cry, right? Even before COVID. So volunteerism is great, right? And there is a complete surplus. I mean, when we first started, we needed people to help deliver meals, right? Or we needed people to come help, at Calvary to help with food. That was never an issue. Actually, the issue was we had to turn people away, right? Which you hate to do with that. But then once COVID happened, at least specifically for BGOLDN, was we had some part-time staff that worked, 2 or 3 other jobs. And what we decided to do early on was they had lost those other jobs. And we just hired them on full time, right? And tried to take care of our own staff. With that, we kind of had to limit our volunteers. So what we are trying to do currently, and I know Kim Mangle in the city has worked really hard as far as having a collective volunteer base, right? But what we're trying to do and educate folks on is, don't think of volunteering as you come to a pantry, right? Or don't think of it as you need to unload a truck, right? Let's think beyond that, right? Let's think, what is your personal and professional skills that you could offer a nonprofit, right? And I think this is also a little bit of education for other nonprofits, right? If I think they get stuck in this mold to where, you know what, we're on a strict budget. Is there folks out there who has accounting experience, right? Or is there folks out there who has event management experience or marketing or all of these factors? And I think with COVID, at least for us, when we had to kind of really limit that volunteers, but we had this surplus, was really trying to think outside the box. We've also created, which is super cool, we've created a committee called Kids Helping Kids. So one of the things that we've seen here in Golden too is that that a lot of parents really want their kiddos to volunteer, right? They really want them to kind of be exposed, and they really want them to kind of, just really just help, right? Well, the problem, at least from what I see, is there's not a whole lot of things out there for kids to help with, right? I mean, we have kind of a restriction, right? I mean, you have to at least be 12 years old to come help at the pantry. So what we're trying to do, again, think outside the box as far as volunteering, is how can we have kids help other kids, right? So maybe it's, these kiddos who have birthday parties, and instead of bringing gifts, right, they are, they're bringing, either donations or canned goods or whatnot. We're helping create fundraising pages for these kiddos. We are really just trying to see how can we connect. Maybe it's not A to B, but maybe it's, maybe there's something in place that we can do. We're creating children's swag, right? And so this is something else volunteer wise that maybe kids can help with, right? Not only wear, but also promote in kind of that indirect way of being able to help these other kiddos. The other thing that we're doing as well, volunteer wise, is we've created a lot of committees. So what we've done is, we have an education committee. We have lots of committees, and this is a way of, again, kind of taking those expertise, right, and being able to bring people together and help with specific things that we're doing.
That's terrific.
Tyson, thank you once more for your incredible and very valuable contributions to Golden. And as we stated earlier, Golden Rotary is more than pleased to be able to recognize those contributions.
Yes, thanks again, Tyson, for being with us. We wish you and BGOLDN the very best of good fortune for the future. We're sure that it's going to be that way, and we're glad that Ethics in Business could recognize you this quarter. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, gentlemen. And yeah, again, just on behalf of BGOLDN, our board of directors, our staff, everyone that's helped, right? I mean, that this is a BGOLDN award, but as I mentioned, I think I mentioned, tens and 20s of different individuals or organizations that's helped with this, and that's the only way that we've been able to be successful. So I appreciate it, and thank you so much for the honor.